Hi, welcome back to another car conversation. Happy Winning Wednesday on this breezy, slightly chilly 55-degree weather day. So today I'm going to be sharing some habits that may be destroying your brain based on Stoic wisdom. Number one, poor sleep habits. Not getting enough sleep hurts your brain and your memory. We should aim for 6 to 8 hours of good sleep to keep our minds sharp. I would suggest that if you don't have a device, specifically a watch, now I don't have mine on because it's charging, as you can see, but that monitors your sleep. Not only does it tell me how much sleep I got the night before, but it also tells me of that time frame, how much time was in deep sleep, how much time was in light sleep, and how much time was in REM sleep, which I absolutely love because I do record it in my Erin Condren fitness journal. So make sure you get that so you'll know how much sleep you're getting, because to be honest with you, if you're not getting enough sleep, it's hard to think clear when you wake up the next day. Plus, being one that has a tendency to suffer with seizures, I ain't gonna say suffer, Lord, I'm not even claiming that has seizures from time to time, not getting enough sleep can be a trigger. Number two, barely moving throughout the day. Sitting in one place all day frustrates your brain. Get up and move around. I don't know about you, but sitting in one place all day gets to be quite boring. So I want to encourage you to get up, move around, and find something creative to do. Even if it's just getting up from the living room, going into the kitchen to look in the refrigerator, take stock of what you have in there and come back. At least it's something different from you just sitting around all day. Number three, too much screen time. Scrolling through social media nonstop is addictive, and we all know that. Yes, I am guilty from time to time. Take breaks and limit your screen time. I would encourage you, first of all, there's so much going on in the world that if you sit and you're just scrolling through social media, looking at post after post, really? Post after post, video after video, talking about what's going on in the world of, y'all see my other half in the back, clearly indicating that he's bored. But we're going to get through this. You can get brain overload. So limit your your screen time, and get up and go do something else. I'm not going to play a game, but get up, go outside and just smell the fresh air, or take stock of your yard, just anything. But scrolling on your device. Number four, consuming too much sugar. Eating lots of sugary foods affects your health, and it messes with your brain and your mood. So I'm not saying to cut out sugar, but kind of limit it. Now, I will say this. I have a guilty pleasure of drinking McDonald's sweet tea. I don't do the ice, but I do a McDonald's sweet tea. I'm going to say, and one time, I ain't gonna lie, I was doing 2 to 3 a week. So now I'm down to just 1 a week and trying to limit the amount of sugar I even put in my hot tea. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I do drink hot tea every morning, especially since, it's been cold out. But let's just all work on limiting the amount of sugar that we take in. Number five, blasting your headphones on full volume. Listening to loud music can damage your hearing, and it messes with your thinking ability. So if you are like me and you typically have an earbud in one ear, make sure the volume is not set up so high that, first of all, you can't hear anything around you. Now, I know in the gym at Planet Fitness, when you come in the evening, they have the music is so loud that you do have to turn up the volume in your own earbuds to drown out the music they're playing. And I get why they do that, but it's like, does it have to be so loud? Because if you go in early in the morning, the music is on, but it's not super loud. But in any event, make sure you're not sitting for long periods of time with devices in your ear, be it earbuds, ear pods, the full headsets, or whatever the case may be, turned up on high, because that can affect your brain. Plus, it'll mess up your hearing. And then you wonder why when you're 55 years old, you're han because you can't hear, okay? Number six, really, Frankie? Consuming negative news all the time. I talked about how there's so much going on in the world, and we're constantly listening to podcasts, watching video. I love Fair and Balanced. I love Think Media. I love Roland Martin, so many different ones. But if you consume Reverend Al Sharpton, if you consume too much of that stuff all day long, to me, it causes brain rot. That's what I like to call it. So constant negativity increases stress, anxiety, and depression. So sometimes you've got to turn the television off, cut off social media, and find something else to do, because it gets to be too much. And you may think you're okay, but mentally you're not, because your mind is processing all of this negative stuff that you take in. This is why I don't associate with negative people. If we're talking and the conversation's going good and all of a sudden you start throwing negativity in, that's when I look at my watch. Well, I'm not wearing it right now, but I go, oh, you know what? It's getting late, girl. Let me get back with you, because I got some stuff I got to do, because I don't have time for negativity. It's too much. It's just draining. And I just refuse to allow people to drain my energy. Last but not least, number 7, staying in the dark too much. Lack of sunlight can increase pressure on your brain. Get outside and enjoy some natural sunlight. Now, unless you're a vampire, there's no reason for you to just be in the dark all day long. And some people do. Now, I know when I'm watching television, I prefer to watch TV with the light out, but you need to get outside and get some natural sunlight, or at least turn on the light in your home so that you're not just in the dark all day long. And this was interesting because I did not realize this. So again, if you're one of those people that you're cool with staying in the house, like you ever go to somebody's house and the lights are always out and you're like, well, how am I supposed to see? So you have to cut on the flashlight on your phone so that you can see your way around. If you know people like that, stay away from them, first of all. But secondly, in your house, sorry, my sinus is draining, y'all. Cut on the lights, and every now and then come outside, get some natural sunlight. You don't have to stay out long, but just let it, just kind of lift your spirits, clear your mind, all that other good stuff. Now, having said that, you guys, everything I shared with you will be in the description box. Hopefully something I said resonates with you and helps you to stop destroying your brain, because it's the little things, the very little things. I will say this, I found out too that what I watch before I go to bed makes a huge difference. I shared with my doctor, I said, and one time I was having seizures at least once a week in my sleep. And I know that I know that I was having seizures in my sleep because when I wake up, my body feels heavy. I feel drained. And sometimes I would bite my tongue, usually on the right side in the back. And so I know I've had a seizure because I know how it makes my body feel. And I said, it's always during the night. And he asked me, he said, well, what are you watching before you go to bed? I said, well, it just depends. Sometimes it might be a scary movie. Sometimes it might be listening to a podcast or watching something on YouTube. And that's when he explained to me how your brain processes all of that stuff. If you don't stop, processes all that stuff. And when you're asleep, your mind it's all that stuff is still floating around in your mind. So now I'm very careful about what I watch before I go to bed. I like to watch something funny. I love watching Christmas movies or watching a motivational video or something, just so that my mind is not trying to process all this stuff. And I really stopped watching scary movies because I found that when I went to sleep, I would dream about whatever movie I watched, only I was in the movie. And it can be very frightening. A couple of times I'll share this with you and then I'll leave you be. But a couple times I was having a seizure in my sleep and I could feel myself choking. And I was fighting not to give in because I felt in my mind anyway that if I stopped breathing, it was going to kill me. Now, whether it really was or wasn't, I don't know, but I wasn't taking that chance. So like I said, now I'm very careful about what I watch and what I take in during the day so that my mind is not trying to process it when it's time for me to relax and go to bed. Now, again, hopefully something I said helps you out, and you can start to, because you can repair your brain so that you can live a little longer, think a little better, and all that other good stuff. If you're new to my channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is not your first rodeo, welcome back. I miss you when I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there, enjoy the rest of this day. Why is this little girl walking on my grass? Enjoy the rest of this day. Whatever you do, wherever you go, have fun, but be safe. Be safe, be careful. I love you all to the moon and back. You know the drill. You definitely know the spiel. There's nothing you can do about it. I love you all so much. I want nothing but the best for you. And I want your brains to be working at full capacity for as long as they possibly can. Love you. We'll talk again on Friday.